Yo, 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 what up, peeps? What up, what up, what up? The music too loud for you? You don't care. You don't care. You're just here for Ella. It's okay. I'm here for Ella too. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to episode. I can tell my fingers are broken. 5 of the Emperor's Corner. We just big show. There we go. Oh yeah. We got the lovely Trashella today. It's been a tumultuous one. Let's hope I don't cry on this one. I got the liquor ready, so if I cry, I'm drinking. Just giving you a heads up. Ella is the 4th member of the Strange Brigade. I've interviewed all the members of the OG Strange Brigade, and I've interviewed Krista of the extended edition of the Strange Brigade. Oh, thank you, Jax. How you doing, lovely? It's good to see you. And it's been great. They've all been amazing guests. Jax was actually my first ever. He's the one that got this started for me. And then, do you, baby boy? You did this all, baby. I was just, all right, relax. And it's been really good. Like I've had. Oh, Danny. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm really appreciative of him because he set the table for this. So this is, round of applause for Jackson Thee for being my first guest and giving me the confidence to actually continue doing this. We've had amazing people. We've had Hackers. We've had Krista. We've had WebTrain. No, Bad Jax. I do this because you guys are awesome, man. Because I want to interview y'all and get to know your lives. I'm just a simple Latin beefcake. That's all I got going for me. Anyway, let me give in my beautiful introduction to my extremely beautiful guest. Oh, thank you, Danny. Thank you. I'm glad you got there safe. The thing about Ella, right, is that I have known Ella for a bit now. Obviously I've been on Twitch for 5 years. I could have gotten married in that time. Ella and me kind of like, it was always like, hi, bye. Oh my God, Meta. Oh my God. She had to do the whole fake Twitch thing. Oh my BBM, hi. So I was like, all right, cool. And it wasn't until like, I guess, maybe like, how do I put this? Like, I think it was around the time that maybe Ella got impregnated that me and her actually started like talking, like it was like, like our paths had finally like, it was kind of like, all right, cool. It's no longer like this. It's more like that. And I was like, all right, cool, let's just have a chat, Ella arrived in my life when I was like, we got really close, and it was like a weird sort of, I was at a weird crossroads with my relationship with Twitch, where it was kind of like, I felt super alone, like in one part, like, like it was kind of like, I kind of felt like, I was being pushed towards just getting the fuck up out of here, instead of like, sticking to my stream and stuff like that, and just doing my thing, where I was just kind of like, I was ready to leave. I had one foot out the door, and Ella kind of like just came in and was like, hey man, what's going on with you? And she asked me, a very like just, she was there for me when I felt like I had apps. She didn't have to do that, by the way. Like this woman doesn't know me from a hole in the wall at this point. Like it was literally just hi and bye up until this point. Like it was like, Meta's a cool dude. That was it. Like, it was like, we didn't know each other. We didn't know, like, the ins and out of each other's lives and stuff like that. And one day it was just one beautiful session of Morrow Rivals, and I owe her a lot. Like, it's just like she very much like, if there's a bunch of people that I can credit for helping me stay here, WebTrain and Jax is 2 of them, Rage Doll always up my ass telling me, no, stop it. And then Ella was literally like, I guess the final pillar that was just like, nah, man, you're fucking amazing. Park your sexy ass right here. She didn't say that. That's me adding it. Just park your ass right here. Don't go nowhere. Fucking, you're amazing. And I was like, all right, cool. So Ella arrived in my life like a sunrise. She was gentle, patient, and without asking for attention. Trashella is the kind of light, a gamer, a crafter, a mother, a creator of warmth in every form. We met at a time when I didn't expect to find calm, and she became that, a friend whose presence reminded me that sincerity still exists on this stupid ass platform. She's laughter and empathy stitched together, depending on who you ask. The kind of person who reminds you that kindness isn't a weakness, it's a rhythm, and she moves in it with time. Tonight isn't about numbers or returns or reach. It's about her season, the one where patience becomes becomes purpose, and love becomes legacy.
Time to play the game.
Hey, there she is.
Time to play the game.
Hey. Can you hear me okay? Is the volume good?
I want to say yes, but let me just turn down the music just a smidge, because I know you'll watch this back and you'll be like, Meta, the music was too loud. So let's just give the music the little smidgeroo.
I'm just looking at the side here. My husband's trying to put the baby down. She can hear me talking. She's just smiling. Yeah.
What
She's
a
like, hi,
nana.
Mom.
I love that. So how you doing?
Doing good. I got my coffee. I'm ready to have a nice morning conversation with my friend.
Aw,
So.
of course. So the beginnings, right? Every story has to start somewhere, before the games, before the crafting, before the stream, before you ever turned on the damn camera. I think that whenever we get on Twitch, it begins with curiosity, What's the earliest memory that you have of falling in love with gaming?
It's probably when my brother and I got our first console. So we used to play on the Sega that my parents had. And I forget what game it was, but it was some sort of like beast game where you're like this He-Man character and you can change. We never got past the second stage. So it's like the first stage you turn into a bear when you like max your power up or something like that. And it was really difficult. But I think like the time that me and my brother like fell in love with gaming was when we got our GameCube. When we got our first Nintendo GameCube. For Smash Bros. Melee.
Damn. What a game to fall in love with. That one's a tough one.
Yeah. We played so much of that. So
did you guys have like
it was
mains,
nice
or did
memory.
y'all just like play whatever character?
Oh my God. I used to play a lot of Princess Peach. And I think I'm trying to remember who my brother would play. Like I remember there was Bowser a lot. He played Mewtwo a lot. So like we would just like fuck around with the game basically. And then it became more games. We got Mario Party, all that stuff. Like we would just play in Mario Party just the mini games. We'd be like, screw the actual game. Like we're gonna get good at all the mini games.
You know what? I love that. Growing up, did you see gaming as like an escape or just something that you shared with your brother?
I think something that I just shared with my brother when I first started playing games with him, like we were very good. Like we used to hang out a lot all the time before like, we got into high school and he had his friends, I had my friends, and like yeah, we just played a bunch of games together. We played like Beautiful Joe,
Ooh.
the Mario Party, we played Melee, and I think one of the fun things was that got me into anime was my brother played a Naruto game from his friend's place. Then he had to get it. And then we started playing it. And I really enjoyed the story, which made me start watching the anime and like reading the manga and everything.
Wow, that's funny because it was actually a Naruto GameCube game that got me
Yeah.
into the anime itself. And it's funny because I think the game only had like 5 characters, which was crazy.
Yeah, like it's so shitty when I think about it.
What was like the first video game that made you feel like, damn, like this is part of who I am. This is something I want to do?
That's a good question. I don't even know. Like, I think I have to go back to the first game that me and my brother really played was just like the Super Smash Melee.
Okay.
It was just something that I really enjoyed. I liked playing fighting games. I remember I got good at it. And the funny thing is now I don't play fighting games anymore. I play more like story-based games. Which I'm trying to remember, like, what was the best story-based game that I've ever played? Because I don't remember. There's so many games, and I want to say it was God of War that really like got me into story. But that was like much later on, like after I dated Mike and everything. So I don't know.
like the God of War in the Norse mythology section?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the Greek mythology, the Norse mythology. Like I remember it's just like I really enjoyed the story of that. And like that's I think what kind of made games a staple for me is like I love a good story and I love that it's an escape. So that would be like what I would play is just like big story games, escape from reality, and just like enjoy like living as this character.
Okay, that's fair. Do you still excuse me? Do you still enjoy gaming like you did back when you used to play it with just you and your brother?
Um, yeah, I think like at one point I actually enjoyed it more because I started playing it with my husband. We were both gamers, so like I remember when we first started dating, we played a lot of League of Legends, which was like not the best game, but we played a lot of that. And then I remember he was excited because he was Diablo 3 released when we were dating. And I remember trying it out on his account and it was really fun. So we played a shit ton of Diablo 3, um, played some Minecraft. Like we just played a bunch of games. And I think like that was a nice thing because me and my brother kind of like we still talk, but like we don't hang out as like we used to as kids. So it was nice that I could still have that like connection with somebody with playing video games and it's somebody who I love and I'm close to. So that was just it makes it special to me.
Oh, I love that. Amazing. Are you just rolling around, huh? Like you had you were so pre-prepped that you just like you literally blew through the first section, man. Usually like
Did
I'm,
I?
yeah, like I'm usually here for like 45 minutes and stuff, man. You know, it's crazy. That was good. That's how I know your ass don't play, bro. You're really about that planning. Yeah, all right. Well, something, something new to you, motherhood, and I'd like to think that motherhood is like a brand new, if we're gonna put it in gaming quest, like gaming terms, it's like a brand new quest for you, and I feel like not that I would know, again, I'm a man, you know, and I also feel like, becoming a mother, I guess like changes how you see everything. The world, you find new strengths, even your dreams. It's not an ending, it's usually like an evolution of a new thing that you've reached. What has motherhood taught you about patience and self-forgiveness?
I think so. For people who don't know, I recently gave birth this year. I gave birth to a baby girl in March. And so my whole life basically just shifted. This was my first pregnancy, first baby. And you know that your life is going to change, but the way that it changed was absolutely crazy in my mind. Like I went through periods where obviously postpartum is a thing. And I remember feeling like my life wasn't my own anymore. Um, Nothing was for me. It was just all her, and there was sacrifices that had to be made. I was off Twitch for a while. I was offline. I tried to like, text people every now and then, and I'd have people message me, which was really sweet. Because like you think like you just meet some random people on the internet, and then it's strange that you like develop these connections with people that are like probably across the world and everything. Um, but I think like one of the things I remember was just like I said, feeling like my life wasn't for me and it was hard. But by month 5, when she started sleeping and having like a good schedule and like a proper bedtime, I was able to play some games, like even if it was just for an hour. And I remember feeling like that sense of normalcy,
Mm,
and like coming back to it. So it makes it better. Like it's hard. Motherhood is always going to be hard. Parenthood in general, even for the dads. Um, but you do get back to some of the things that you used to do, which is nice. So I value that time when she goes to bed and I can play some Marvel Rivals and enjoy myself.
of course. Has caring for Bean reshaped the way you look at purpose?
I think so. Yeah. In some way, because I always wanted to be a mom. I knew I always wanted to be a mom. Like, I don't know if you've ever had in school where they're like, what do you want to do when you're older and stuff? And my mom was like such a big person in my life that like I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be a mom. Um, so this is like something that's just been very fulfilling for me. Um, and it makes the whole difference. Like it just, walking into a room and seeing her just smile ear to ear because
Mm,
you're her whole world, and like you make her happy, and it's just it gives me like a nice sense of purpose. And I love my life right now. It's hard. It sucks sometimes. I don't have as much free time as I used to, but like it's just so fulfilling in my eyes.
of course, of course. When it's quiet time, the baby's asleep and you're just winding down. What moments throughout the day of the things that she does just has you that you start replaying in your mind?
Um like what do you mean, like what moments? Like
Like, is there like new things that she does that you're just like, wow, like that's like this
Oh
little
my God.
creation is mine. You know, like
Yeah, every day, every day. Like, so she is 8 months now, and we are doing solids. So, like, I'm teaching her how to eat proper food, and it's just crazy. It's like, I have to remember, like, I am physically trying to teach somebody how to eat, how to drink, how to do things. And I remember, like, I texted my husband, I sent him a video. I just gave her a sippy cup with a straw. She doesn't know how to drink out of a straw, but she did it. I was like, our baby's a genius.
I love that. What is there anything that you would like Bean to learn from watching who you are as a person, not just what you do?
um, I'd have to say probably like one of the biggest things I want her to like learn from me is just to be yourself, to love yourself and to be patient with yourself. I think like it's right now she's a baby and she has no idea of shame. So I love the fact that she's just unapologetically her. But obviously, like when you're older, you get shy, things happen. So I want to try to make sure that I like can tell her, you are who you are, and if nobody wants like to accept you, then that's their problem. It's not you. You got to learn to love yourself before you can love others.
Powerful, very powerful words. All right, so on top of streaming, right? You know, when you usually game, there's something else that you do, which I think is pretty dope, and that's crafting, right?
Yes.
Not only did you become a mama and you created, life, you've also created like little hats
Little
and stuff.
stuffies.
Yeah, little stuffies and stuff. Um, and I also think that like crafting takes a lot of patience. It's about creating time, calm. You're one thread, one loop, one color at a time, et cetera, et cetera. How did crafting become such a big part of your identity?
Actually, so funny thing was, it was back when I was like, well, we're still like like small streamers, but like back when I was first starting Twitch, I was like getting into like what makes your channel different, what do you do that stands out,
Yeah.
what brings in an audience and everything like that. And I remember, I think I was just like scrolling around on Twitch and I found the makers and crafting channels. And I remember, I wish I knew which channel this was, but I remember seeing a woman make these cute little like ice cream cones with faces. And they were so, so cute. And I just thought to myself, like, I want to do that. So, um, I'm very good about stuff like this. Like I'm a very crafty person. So I just went on YouTube, looked up tutorials, practice, and then I made my first little stuffy and he was ugly as hell. But my husband kept him, which was very cute.
Aw.
Yeah. And I just got better with time and it was fun. Like my husband helped me set up like a whole thing to have the camera above and you can see my hands. So I'm like crocheting, which, those streams were really fun to me because like we were able to just relax, craft, and just chat, which was really nice. And I think like a fun thing was it inspired other people to start crafting. I have like a couple of people who like to send me things, like they like to send me pictures of their projects and like people are very talented. So it was just really fun for me to like get to see other people's creations, whether it be art, crochet, knitting, what is it? Like I want to say like pixel art, but it's not pixel art. You know the one where you put the little beads
Yeah,
in
yeah,
places
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, something like that. Like it's incredible to see what people can do. So, and I like that I was just able to pick it up and kind of go with it.
I love that. Um, is there any emotions that you feel while you're creating the things that you make? Like, do you pour like anything into that?
I'd have to say it's like a mix of calm and also a mix of stress.
Mm.
I'm a huge perfectionist, so if things don't look the way I'm like it's supposed to look in the pattern or if it's supposed to look in the picture, I'm like, what's wrong with it? Why can't it be like this? And that's something I have to like take into consideration when I do art is it's mine. It's not anybody else's. So if it looks a little funky because I made it that way, it's mine. Like, it's not a replica of somebody else's thing. Because that was another thing I started doing was I started drawing on my iPad for fun. And I've never been good at art. I've always looked at other people who can like draw and I'm just like, damn, I wish I could do that. And practicing and like kind of learning how to do art on the iPad has really given me um like a sense of appreciation for the people who can like properly draw because it's really hard. I have a lot of cool brushes and stuff that can make things easier, but doing pen and paper art is just incredible.
I agree with you. Like some of the things that people create, especially like growing up, I was always jealous of the dudes that could make Goku out of like nowhere. Like,
Right?
damn. All right. Here's my stick
Just like, why
figure.
can't I draw
Enjoy.
this? Yeah.
Exactly. Um, do you ever find a difference between making something for yourself as opposed to making something for somebody else?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if it's for me, if like there's a little thing that's like out of touch or like it's not proper, like whatever, I'm fine. It's mine. But when it's for somebody else, I try to make it like absolutely perfect. I like to think that like there's a little bit of love in there as well. I remember, so my best friend loves sunflowers, and I made her a cute little sunflower crochet plushie,
Okay.
and she loved it. And it was just funny because I was listening to like Sunflower from like the Spider-Verse movie. It was just like I just remember doing that and like thinking about her and just like just how excited she'll be when she sees it. And same thing, like I've made my baby a hat and stuff, and it's like you
Aw.
have those feelings of I hope she keeps this, I hope she appreciates it and stuff, and like I've put so much effort and I love her. So it's like things like that. I like making gifts for other people opposed to me because I can like think about that person and just like I like to say I put a little love in there.
I agree. I agree. Is there any crafting project that you've made that you hold extremely dear to your heart?
Ooh. I'd have to say it's probably this mushroom hat I crocheted. So me and my friends were going to a Ren fair that was here for the first time, and I really wanted to dress up. We all wanted to dress up and be nerdy. And like this is not a really good Ren fair. Like I think you guys have like really good ones in New York and stuff. And like I know Liza and Doug go to like really big ones in Maryland.
Let me stop you right
Um
there. Like I know you, but it's like it is packed. Like it is packed.
I know, I'll
If it
probably
was a
hate
bit, it
it.
was packed, and they don't take cash. They don't take card or nothing. So if you don't
It's only
have
cash.
cash, yeah, if you don't have cash,
Uh
whoo. All right, continue. I'm sorry, I just had to put that out there.
but that's it. So like it was a really shitty little Ren fair and stuff, but I wanted to dress up, and I remember being like, do I do this costume? Do I not do this costume? And literally a week before we were supposed to go. So it's like the Monday, we're supposed to go on the Saturday. I'm like, I'm doing this. And I was crocheting this mushroom hat that I found on Etsy. I found a like I want to say a plan, but like can't think of the words. Anyways, instructions on how to make it. And so I'm like, every free moment I have, like I work from home. So even when I'm not working, I'm like crocheting at the desk. It's like this whole thing took me a week. My hands were so freaking sore
Oof.
by the end of it. But the costume looked really good. And I remember stepping into that Ren fair, and 2 minutes in, somebody asked to take my picture
Aw,
because
that's
they liked my
amazing.
costume, right? And then like I had the vendors at like the tables comment on it. That everybody was so like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you made that. It's beautiful." And so like I think that holds a special place in my heart because I worked really freaking hard on that, and it was just the outcome was just really nice.
I love that. All right, so you've been on a Twitch break, right? Obvious reasons,
Yes.
you're a home mama. Um, I like to think that there's a certain power in slowing down and and just like letting all that noise chill for a while. You step away from streaming, but you haven't stepped away from your connection with people because you've obviously me and you are chill. You obviously have your relationships with your other streaming friends, and vice versa. You know, um, is there anything that you've discovered about yourself during this break?
Um, Good question. I guess like well, because I've been on break because I got married, I got a house, I had a baby, so like there's been a lot of like life things going on.
Hmm.
Um, and I think like the thing that I've discovered about myself is that no matter where I am, I make whatever I can work. Cause like it's hard, like sometimes I'll see like people are streaming together and like, they're playing games and like having a good time. And it's like I wish that I can sometimes go back to that where I had no like responsibilities. Like I could just like jump online with my friends whenever I was free and just like scream as loud as I want during horror games. But I think like yeah, something I've just discovered about myself is that humans are just very adaptable. You know, I remember like sitting in the hospital for 2 weeks and I was waiting to be induced for birth. I had preeclampsia. Thankfully, like I wasn't in any pain or anything. I was just sitting at the hospital and they had to keep me. And I remember the highlights of my evenings would be when Meta and friends would be online in a group chat, just like hanging out. And I just wanted to like talk to people.
Oh, that's right. That did happen. That's crazy that that was this
Yeah.
year. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, time flies.
I just wanted to have some
Oh, I
social like
remember that. I
interaction.
remember that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Damn, bro. Don't make me right, Dim. I remember that. Wow. Don't get me sentimental, bro. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you'd be whispering like,
Yeah.
"Hi guys, I'm in the hospital." Damn, Ella, I can't believe that that was this year. That feels like it was eons
Yeah.
ago. That's crazy.
I
Wow.
know. It was mid-March and it was
Yeah.
just like yeah, it was just you adapt to what you have to do and like the break has been nice. I think like definitely stepping away from like social media. Yeah, the nurse wanted me to go to sleep. She was so mean. Um I took it as she was trying to help me out though. She's like, you need to relax, you need to rest, you know, the preeclampsia and shit like that. But I was like, no, I want to stay up and hang out with my friends. Um But yeah, taking a break from like social media has been very nice. At the same time, I feel like I'm more present. I'm not like, you know, checking my phone to see like, oh, which Discord is hopping and like who's doing what and like, you know, what's happening with people. It's just I'm just enjoying this time with my family. You know, getting to experience my daughter growing and doing new things every day. So it's just it's nice and I think like I do encourage and I think Meta also encourages that if you're in a rough spot, like social media is definitely not where you want to be. You need to step away, take some time to like just be there for yourself and it really makes a difference.
Listen, I always say that stepping away from Twitch and Discord for a few can be so healing, especially when you feel like you know your mind's
The
not.
world's against
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah, because it's like you'll take any little thing to heart, and it's just two people arguing about a certain video game, and I just feel like it's so healthy to kind of like you know I'm
Step
done with
away.
this. Yeah, like I'm done with this for a bit. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In the world of streaming, especially around the friends that you have, do you ever feel, I guess, left out? In terms of like, I'm not even saying FOMO because I hate that word, but but I'm just saying like left out as in like like damn, like I kind of miss this and I wish I was doing this, you know, doing
Oh
my
yeah.
own, like putting my spin on this, the Trashella spin on what they're doing.
Oh yeah, like I think what was it? You, Jax, Hackers, and Arlie played the dinosaur game. And I remember I was like a little salty. I was like, "Nah, I wasn't invited." And I was like, "What a bitch." And I was because like I just have a good time hanging out with you guys. And it was funny though, because I remember like it was a Sunday, I think you guys were playing, and my baby was wearing dino jammies, and I was just like,
Aww.
I was like, damn, damn, how dare they?
Have you found any kind of peace in the stillness of it all? Like no more streaming, no more nothing. Like, is there a sense
A little bit.
where you're like, yeah, I don't gotta like. I'm not saying that like streaming is rushed. Obviously, you're Ella. You have like your own damn routine. Like, there's no such thing as like you not planning out. Okay, I'm not gonna do this today and stuff. But have you found some sort of peace in knowing that you don't gotta hit that go live button?
A little bit, yeah. I have to admit, like I was telling Meta that you know, jumping on camera and like talking to people and like going on stream was a little nervous. Like, you know, every streamer experiences that, like the anxiety that you get when you hit the go live button. Um, but I have really appreciated the stillness. I think like I've really appreciated the fact that you know, I don't have to worry about well, I think like when I was streaming, there was definitely a point where it was like I want to grow. Obviously, everybody wants to see their numbers increase. There's like a dopamine effect when you see that, and it's just like it feels good. So it's nice that I don't have to worry about what game am I playing because what's hot right now, what's like you know, but what's not too hot, so that I can pull in people to see my stream better. You know, I don't have to worry about like managing a community right now because y'all get crazy. You need to calm down. Um, but no, there's no community I have to really like manage right now. I'm just here for the ride, basically. I'm just
Of course.
living life as a viewer is different, that's for sure.
I feel this. I feel this. Um. Okay, so if tomorrow, right? Let's just say the stars aligned, right? And you
Mm.
had like about a good solid 6 months of streaming, right? Just real quick, right? Off the top of your head, give me the top 3 games that you'd be focusing on during those streams.
Final Fantasy 15. 100%. I think I would do another Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. It's been too long and it was like probably one of my favorite games. Um Ooh, these are tough questions. So wait, this was God of War is a good. Hi Zeb. God of War is a good one. It's a very emotional story again, and it's one of those stories that I like to like pull myself into.
Yo,
Um,
just to piggyback off of that, I cried
yeah.
like a damn child in God of War Ragnarok. Like
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget, man. It was like tongue in cheek, the grown man thing, where you're just kind of like, with the big old eyes. That was rough.
Yeah.
That was bad. And I
Yeah.
remember, and I'm looking for like patience. I'm looking for like I guess like affirmation. And I go, Heckers, did you guys like? Nah, I was fine. I watched the stream back, and he's like, oh, that's his name, and I'm like, this motherfucker didn't even.
Oh my
And he's a
god.
dad too. Anyway, continue.
So like God of War has such a good story. Final Fantasy 15, that was a big story for me. And like funny thing is I think like what I would bring back for if I was streaming again is definitely the bomb game. I think that was really fun. It was a lot of work and this is like something that I take appreciation in for the Emperor's Corner cuz this is nice. Like we're having a back and forth, we're talking everything, but like there's a lot of work that goes into that. It's like reaching out to the people, coming up with the questions, like getting the setup done. If you guys haven't seen, Meta has a nice new background. But yeah, like these are just things that like you do. So that was something, it was a bit of work, but I had fun with the bomb game because I'd have to like reach out, coordinate schedules with people and like try to figure it out. And then there's also the setup where like I have to make it where you guys can see the instructions, but also like see the bomb and what's happening. There's a lot to it. Um, so it was fun. I like seeing, like Zeb says, the different reactions with the streamers and
Shit.
everything like
Why
that.
don't you tell Zeb your plan if me and you ever get on that?
I
Go
did
ahead.
say if I was going to do the bomb game again, because Meta and I have said that if I go back to streaming, Meta and I are going to do a stream and we're not inviting Jax and we're not inviting hackers. So I was thinking maybe the bomb game. And the fun thing is I can speak French and Meta can speak Spanish. And so I was like, maybe I'll have a redeem that like, I don't know, 5 subs, 5 minutes, Meta and I have to speak French and Spanish to each other and try to figure it out.
That would be so bad.
Jack would be a drama queen about
You've
it.
played it with Jax, right? Like I know you
I have, yeah, I
Okay.
have. Literally, Jax was pulling at hair he didn't have because it was just so stressful.
That's gonna love that one, bro. That's gonna make him laugh. You just made his day with that one. All right, so like I know you as like like you're just like me. You're like a true variety streamer. Like it's like I've seen you play everything from horror to just like, and you push yourself
Cozy
to do it
games.
too. There's
I know.
there's sometimes and stuff that there's horror games that I've sat and watched you do. When I'll go like I can't do this. I just can't. Like there's no way. And Ella powers through it, and I'm like, nah, that's crazy. With her heart rate spiked up at 161, because mine chills at one like 86 and 100 when I'm scared. Ella jumps up to 161. That's wild, right? But there's 2 games in particular that I'm really fond of, like your streams of them, right? And I wanted to ask you about them because these games moved you. Like I mean, moved you. You had legit tears, right? It pulled at your heartstrings, and I like to think that you look at these dudes as like your heroes and stuff, right? And I feel like you got so enthralled in the game that you felt every heartbreak that these people went through, and it was great. I'm getting emotional talking about it because I'm thinking of you.
We have a bet, by the way. If any of us cries, the other has to like give $50 to a charity of the choice.
Damn, that dried up the tears real quick. Good job. So let's talk about Final Fantasy 15, right? Why do you think that
Yes.
story touched you so deeply?
Okay, so that's a funny story because it literally started where I watched Fanlight streaming it, and I was just making a joke about the shirtless guy with the abs. I was just like, "Oh, I love him. I want to lick his abs." Like, I was just making uncomfortable comments about this guy, and so I really started enjoying the story when I was watching Fanlight play it, that I was like, I want to start playing this. It was all Gladio. It's all thanks to Gladdy Daddy. But that was it. So I had like an idea of the story because I watched Fanlight play a bit of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just something really fun. I just really enjoyed those streams. It was just like, I don't know what it is, because I've never had a game that I've like wanted to just do all the side quests. I wanted to do every morsel of like, or like crumb of whatever it could give me. I just wanted all of it. And that's actually where like I met Zeb. Zeb showed up in the Final Fantasy 15 streams. And I think it was, Zeb, if you can remind me, if it was, you said that it was funny to you because I was siding with Gladio in an argument that him and Noct had in the train. Can I give spoilies of this game?
Of course you can. The game's like 10,000 years old. That game came out in 2016.
I just want to double check.
And I sided with Gladio too at that point. I know exactly what she's talking. I sided with him too.
Because Fanlight thinks Gladio is such an asshole in the scene, but I think he actually has a point. So basically, in the story, a loved one of Noct is basically killed off, and it's a really big thing. And obviously, he's grieving the loss of the person. And Gladio basically comes up to tell him, like, you know, we got a job to do. You got to shape up. Like, we got to get this going. Like, you know, basically, forget your feelings and let's get this job done. I just thought it was funny because you can empathize with Noct, but also you can understand, like you said, what Gladio was saying, that you got to get the job done. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, like that whole story was just so amazing. I like the way that you can see the character growth. I like the way that you can see the bond between the guys, and just the tragic ending at the. It's like tragic and bittersweet. It's like it's very emotional, and I do remember ending that game because I pushed it for like I think a month or something. I knew it was coming up, and I was like, I didn't want to finish this game. I just wanted to do other things. And when it finally ended, it was so freaking sad. I cried my eyes out.
Yeah, that was one of those games that like it hurt me when it was done, just because of like the whole brotherhood of it was just insane. Like it was like, wow, like, you know,
it's
like,
a beautiful story.
It really is. It really is. So there's another Final Fantasy game that had you in your bag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was it about the Crisis Core ending that hit you the way that it did? Is there anything specific, or?
It's just Zack. It's Zack. He is such a good character. Like I love a good boy who just wants to like save the world, has golden retriever energy, you know, like I loved him. Cuz I haven't played Final Fantasy games. My first Final Fantasy game was 15. My husband is a big fan of 7, so that's why I was kind of like looking into it and stuff, but I never finished the remake of Final Fantasy 7. But then there was Crisis Core. And I was like, oh, okay, like it's shorter, like we'll try it. And it's funny because Zeb told me not to play this because it causes spoilies for the Final Fantasy 7, which it really does because I didn't realize things. So it was just incredible because I just really like the character Zack. He's so he just wants to better himself. He wants to be the best. He's just kind. He's here to help people in need. And I think it was hard watching that last scene where he's giving it his absolute all, and you know it's not enough, but he's still pushing himself, and it's heartbreaking. And then just seeing him pass away, and I think it was also like the romance between him and Aerith. I was always a Cloud Aerith girly, but like now that I've seen Zack with Aerith, like it's not the same. Because that's, I think, a big thing for me too, is I love romance. I love reading like romance books, all that stuff. So just the romance between Zack and Aerith was just so pure, so cute, so like, I don't know, it just reminds you of like that first love, and that is just like something so precious. And it was just so sad that it was a tragic ending, and I think that's where that like story really got me.
Okay. Out of all the Final Fantasy games you played, all 2 of them, which character do you project yourself onto the most?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd want to say Igneous because I want to cook like him, but that's not true. I definitely think it's Zack. I like to think that I'm not perfect. no one is perfect in this world, but I do like to stand by the words that I always said in my streams, is that kindness is a gift that anybody can afford to give. I've just been taught to like treat people with like mutual respect, be kind to others. Like there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of like horrible feelings in this world, and it's just nice to think that you can at least lift somebody else's day up, or like I try to make a habit that if I see somebody in public, like say I see a girl and she's got a cute outfit on, and like I don't know, we somehow interact, I will make sure to tell her like, hey, I really like that coat you have, you're looking really good. Like it's just because those comments really mean something to somebody else, and it'll make somebody's day brighter. So I think that's like why I kind of relate to Zach, because he's just such a like a happy-go-lucky guy. He tries to help out whoever he can. He's trying to bring light into this world when he's in a really shitty situation. So I think that's something that I connect with him, and that's why I think it was very strong when he dies, and I'm like, oh, my baby.
That was very good. I did not expect that to be so eloquently said.
Thank you.
Like I thought you were Gladio, big sword, but
I did think of Gladio. I was like, but I think Gladio is more of he's a type of get shit done kind of character. He's usually not very silly. I like his character, but he's not me.
That's fair. That's fair. It doesn't just have to be gaming, right? But like, what kind of storytelling makes you feel the most seen as a person? Whether it's tragedy, is it a story about sacrifice, or is it a story about hope?
Probably a story about hope, but I do love a good story of like self-sacrifice. Because that's just something it's like a hard decision to make. And again, that's like going into that these people want to like be the greater good. They want to help those around them. They will like push themselves past what they can for the sake of others. And that's something that I really like. So like one of the things, because like I said, I like to get into a good story, is books. I've always loved reading books. I'm on a pause right now, but I really want to get back into reading. And one of the books that I finished before I took my pause was like the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody knows that guy, or he's a very big author, and my husband loves him. So I started reading some of the books that he had. And there's a character in the Mistborn series that I absolutely loved, and he had one of the biggest self-sacrificing moments. And it was so hard.
Were you crying? Were you crying reading the book?
I sobbed. Mike came home, and I was like, I think I just finished that part, and I was just like, I can't believe this happened. What happened? Yeah. And the worst part was his dad was with him, so it was like I embarrassed myself in front of my father-in-law, but it was just. I love a good story.
Of course.
If you can find a story that can actually captivate you and like want you to just keep going and like basically like eat every morsel of that story, it's a good one.
Of course. If you could talk to any character in any media, doesn't just have to be gaming, who comforted you through hard times, what would you say?
Oh. Let me think about this. Hold on.
Yeah, go do your thing.
If you guys don't know, Meta gave me the option of seeing the questions before or getting surprised during the interview, and I was like, no, I want to be surprised. So I got to think about these a little bit. What character? Repeat the question one more time.
If you could talk to a character who comforted you through hard times, what would you say?
I'm trying to think of like when I had such hard times, because yeah, this isn't as funny. Can you repeat it in a sentence?
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't think I've like ever like brought myself to a character. Like I'm trying to think about like everything. Like I'm trying to think about like TV shows, books, games, like anything like that. Like who's really inspired me. But like I don't know.
It could also be like
really...
if you've had like if you were having like a tough time at some point in your life, or like or you were going through something, like maybe like a fallout with someone, and then like you were playing a game and you were like, wow, like this dude with a six-pack and a sword really helped me out through this whole thing.
Well, I think like I don't think I have like a character specific. I think if anything, it's my husband.
Ooh.
Who's that person.
Okay.
whenever I'm having a hard time, he's my rock. He's my biggest supporter. Even with the streaming journey, like I was always like, oh, I've been thinking about streaming. He was the one who got me the webcam. He's the one who's gotten my computer all set up, the green screen, like everything. He's been like my biggest supporter throughout the way, and he really lifts me up. But I do consider like games are a good way to escape. Like say, like you said, I was going through like a fight with a friend or something. I'd like to for that, I think I would like to get into like a really immersive story. Like that's something like just so you could forget like what the fuck's going on in your life
Of
and just
course.
like enjoy a good story.
I love that. All right, we're gonna jump into a little bit more of not that you have them, that cold Canadian northern heart of yours, but but we're gonna jump into a little bit more emotional stuff. When it comes to like I
Okay,
guess the things that you
I'm
have
ready.
kind of you have been through on not just Twitch but life in general. Um, it's kind of like it's funny that life has a way of teaching us lessons that we don't necessarily choose. Right? It's just kind of like this is here. How are you gonna deal with it? You know, choice A, choice B. And I feel like life has a way of testing our belief in people. You know,
Right.
I like to think, as your friend, that you've shown that even in hurt, it's possible to keep leading with empathy. Which is a lesson that you taught my ass. Um, what did you learn about trust when life asked you to look at it differently?
That's hard because trust is a very precious thing. And I've had many times where I've trusted someone and, obviously they didn't have my best interests in heart or, they broke that trust. Um, so I'd have to say, like, when it comes to trust, you'd have to like be very like choosy about it. You have to find
Mm.
like the people that you can say something to, and like sometimes you just need to tell them like don't tell anybody, but like trust is just a very precious thing, and it's something that you have to be choosy about giving,
Of
in my
course.
opinion.
No, you're absolutely right. Um, these days, how do you protect your peace without closing yourself off?
Well, see, the funny thing is, like, if I protect my peace, like, it means I would actually, like, step away. Like, does that count as closing myself off, though?
Not really, no, because you're still available to people.
That's true. So, yeah, like I would say, step away from the internet, focus on yourself, do something that makes you happy. Like, so for me, that would be like, crocheting or like doing some crafting, spending time with family and friends, um, reading a good book, playing a good game, something that can just like kind of get you out of that headspace and, to reset and then bring yourself back because life gets complicated, life gets hard, and sometimes you do need to take that time to step away, look at yourself internally, and then just come back stronger, basically.
Okay, that's fair. It's funny because that kind of answers the other question I was gonna ask you. So I'm just like,
No, wait, what's the question? Let's
oh
see.
no, no, no. It's just like, what does strength look like to you when it's quiet and not loud?
Ooh, that's a good question. What does strength look like?
Yeah, to you when it's quiet and not loud.
I think just being at peace with yourself, basically, just
Okay.
like being comfortable with yourself. Cause I think that's one of the hardest things is like people will always look at you a certain way, but if you're comfortable with yourself, you will never be bothered by those people. Like what's the saying, Meta? What is it? The lion doesn't concern themselves with the words of sheep or something like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's a powerful quote because it's you have to be happy with yourself. You have to be confident with yourself because if you're not, like you can't expect others to appreciate you or to love you the same way, you know?
No, you're right. Um, so with everything that's gone on Twitch, everything that you've ever experienced with your friendships outside and inside of Twitch, right? How do you keep kindness alive after you've been disappointed?
Reach out to the people that do actually keep me happy,
Hmm.
like say the question one more time. I lost my train of thought.
Like, how do you how do you keep kindness alive after being disappointed?
So yeah, reaching out to the people who obviously amplify that kindness, um, and just sticking with them and like just like I said, doing things that make you happy. Like it's very important to protect your peace. Um, And I think that's like a strength in itself, is that you have to try to like not concern yourself with what's going on around you and try to focus on what's important, and, like working on those relationships that are important and do lift you up.
Okay. All right. That's beautiful. Honestly, for anybody that's going through that, those are solid words right there. Um, so there's like a very much a super powerful strength in your softness. I'm not calling you soft in the hood terms, but just saying, like, like you've always been a very gentle friend, even when you're being sarcastic, like it comes from a good place, you know. But that also comes with, like, womanhood, right? What does womanhood mean to you now as opposed to before you were married and motherhood?
Oof. I'm gonna be a little. I've got like a chat full of boys here, but I'm gonna be a little like feminist about this. I think womanhood just means strength. I think like also just being in the position I was this year, like seeing my body go through incredible changes, being able to create life, nurture that life. It's something that's very incredible to me, that like we can go through all this change and everything, even with our hormones, everything, and we can still get shit done. I think womanhood is just like a big sign of strength.
I love that. Okay. When you look in the mirror these days, what do you see now that younger you didn't?
Um, I guess like more self acceptance. I come from like a background where I've talked about my mom a bit to other people. I don't know. She was my biggest hero, but also she was my biggest villain. My mom is very judgmental. She's very hard on me. And a lot of things was that she would comment about my weight. So I was very, before I met my husband, I was very, very insecure, very unsure about myself. And that's just something that you have to kind of like learn, is that like I've said, I think like loving yourself is one of the biggest things, and I'm still on that journey. Like I still have moments where I'll look in the mirror and I won't enjoy what I see, but like, you have to kind of think about the things that you can do and that you can help yourself with. So like eating healthy, getting exercise, and now with like having a baby and a little girl, I think about to myself, like I want her to feel the self-love. I want to be healthier for her. I want to be able to, like live life with my family and just enjoy it, because you only get one life. So it's kind of like you have to kind of just think about like, how can I enjoy my life to the fullest? So that's something that like my younger self probably wouldn't have understood, because I was very insecure, very shy. I felt like I was not pretty. And, I just, after meeting my husband, I've learned that I can be powerful in my own way. I can love myself in my own way. I don't have to listen to these comments from other people. And like, I went through a whole shift. I had lost all my friends from like high school and college. And I met people, or reconnected with people from high school that I didn't think that I would reconnect with. And I have a very strong friend group online and offline. I have my spouse, who is my biggest supporter. And I've surrounded myself with like very safe people, and the people who I can't get rid of, example is my mother. And having all those hard conversations. Like I still have difficult conversations with my mother, but it's come to the point where I have to just respect my boundaries and my peace, and I have to just let go of things sometimes.
Okay. Wow. All right. Great.
This is the therapy answer. Everybody needs to go to therapy.
No, I mean, you're doing great, honestly. This is like, I'm not trashing the other 4 guests. They were amazing, but you are literally just, all right, so we're gonna move into being Canadian, right? Because I don't know shit about Canada outside of the Bret Hart. Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler, and he's Canadian. That's it. Don't you know?
So I don't even know who that is.
How dare you? Hey, Mounties, this one right here. So Canada has like a stigma of being stupid kind, right? Like insanely kind, right?
Yes.
How has Canada shaped your sense of community and care? Like, do you think that being Canadian did that for you? Or is that just like a you thing?
I think that's just a me thing,
Okay.
honestly. Like it is funny because I remember like whenever I went anywhere or like to the States especially, if somebody saw my passport, they were like, "Oh my God, you're from Canada. You guys are so nice there." Um but honestly, like I have to say, like I think we're nice to an extent, but like where I live in Quebec, and it's like there's a lot of hostility between like the French and the English. There's like, like actually I think one of the things that's here is that when you're walking down the street, you have the awkward moment where you catch somebody's eye who's coming down the opposite way from you, and you're about to like pass, and you're like, shit, what do I do? I saw their eyes. Do I look away? Do I not? My go-to is I give a smile. I've caught your eye. I'm gonna smile at you, be nice. Dude, people here are just like they scowl at you and you're just like, what the fuck? Like who pissed in your cereal today? Like it's crazy. It's
Ah,
crazy.
shit. It's funny because in New York City, you just nod and hope the other person doesn't have a gun. Like you guys pass and you'll be like, I just hope to God
Don't
that
shoot
they don't.
me.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, Whenever you're away from home, like when you're, visiting the States, what is the one thing that you miss the most?
My
As a-
bad.
oh, that's fair.
I think anybody can like attest to this that
No,
there's
you're not even
nothing
wrong.
better than your own bed. Um But I do, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I miss my own space. Like I love to travel and it's like, I love seeing family and stuff. So it's quite funny that, yeah, I think it's my bed is the biggest thing that I miss.
You're not even wrong. And like I actually like I have a trip to Mexico in January and I'm preemptively missing my bed, which I think is crazy. Like how do you
Yep.
preemptively miss? I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna be gone for like almost
Because
8
it's your
days.
comfy space.
Exactly. Like when I was in England for 2 weeks, that was just torture. Like not torture as in like because
Uh,
I'm in England, it was just torture because it's like, damn, bro, my bed
Being in an
misses me.
Airbnb. Yeah.
Hated it.
You were gone for a week, I think, right? When you
Two
went to
weeks,
the.
two
Oh
Ross
my
Clark Pussy
God.
Clark weeks. So if there's anybody American that can say that they lived the ye olde English life, it's this guy. Because I was everywhere. Anyway, this ain't about me. Um, is there a piece of Canadian culture that you try to weave into all your creative work that you do?
Ooh. I don't think so. I think like maybe the biggest Canadian thing that I do online is push poutine. I don't know if anybody knows what poutine is, but it is like the Quebec dish here where it's French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And like
IBS.
I get so serious about it. Loba knows. Loba knows. I think it was Wibis. Wibis was talking about food and I got like so defensive about it. I think hackers thought that I was being like angry at Wibis, and I was like, no, no, it's like I'm telling people this is the fucking dish you need to eat.
That's fair. That's fair.
So if you're ever in Canada, go get a poutine
I will
and
definitely
smoked
not
meat.
be getting that. Smoke meat,
Wow.
maybe, but. Oh, crap. All right. We're gonna kind of segue into friendships a bit, because
Okay.
this is very important. Oh, the Canadians are coming out.
I love you guys. Thank you. I know I used to call it poutine, but it's poutine.
Putin. I
Poutine.
will continue calling it basura, which is
Like
Spanish for garbage.
it's the guy from Russia, Putin. There you go.
Oh.
Just fancier.
All right, so Ella, you've been a friend to me. You've been a friend to many. I don't say that lightly because you reminded me that comfort can be quiet, because sometimes we'll just sit in that damn Marvel Rivals room, not saying a damn word except all the you hear the buttons clattering, and every once in a while heal me, but it's good.
And then a
What?
cogno,
Yeah,
thrown here
coño,
and there.
yeah. Don't anglicize our creation. All right, sorry, Loba. Bienvenue, by the way. Saying.
Bienvenue.
What does friendship mean to you now, and as a whole?
Ooh. I think it's something very important, honestly. Um, the friends that I have offline are friends that I've known since high school. We've got a lot of history, and I think like that's something very precious. It's something that you don't get to keep often. And friendship's also very difficult. Like for example, I'm the only mom in my friend group. My
Oof.
other friends don't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for them. One of them's a cat mom. And she like makes jokes about how she's raising two kids under 5. Uh Um, but it's something very precious because like you come and go like from a lot of people. I've had friendships fall apart. Um, and it's something that you need to protect and it's something that you need to work on. And I think that's something that like I've expressed before where it's like I'm playing a game online and I have people who want to play with me, but they don't message me. And it's like apparently it's up to me to message them to like, play games and like connect with each other. But I think it's very important to protect those relationships and to, if you want to hang out with somebody, don't be shy to say it. Like, what's the worst they're going to say is, no, I'm busy. Then that's fine. Next time,
Word,
you know?
exactly. Go about your damn day. Don't take it personal, folks. Everybody got a damn
Exactly.
life. The only reason I take it personal is when people have been writing in that damn Marvel Rivals room all day about how they want a game, and then poor Ella will be there by herself, and I'd be like, I bet. Guess who's playing with
No one
Ella an
wants
hour
to
before
play with
stream?
me.
Insanity, insanity. Vamp, it gets me so mad, Vamp. You have no idea. Like Ella will be like, hi, and I'll be like, God, no one's here. I bet I'm here. You fucking bastards. What indicates to you when someone's energy is safe? Like that you're just like, all right, cool. I can chill here.
I think it's just like when you find that connection with people, um, like where you can just like be 100% you without having to worry about like hurting other people's feelings or like just like tiptoeing around them because you're not sure. Like I think like that's something when you've really connected with somebody is like when you can just like all out just have a good time and hang out. And I think like that's something that I've realized is like when I play a game with people, that's when I feel like I can really like let go, be me because like people will be like, "Oh, you're so nice." And then once I get to know them, they're like, "You're so mean." But that's just because I'm comfortable and I can like make jokes and like, enjoy that with people.
And that's literally one of your biggest green flags for me. That you're fun, but you also know when to kind of like be like, shut up. Like
Oh yeah,
that's very
like
good. That's very
you
good.
have to learn the moment basically and
Of
just
course.
learn when to speak up, when to kind of that's the thing. Relationships are hard and like it's fun when you can just connect with people, but you also have to learn to, when things are serious to take it seriously. You okay there?
Oh, me? Yeah. Sorry, did I breathe into the mic?
No, no. I was like, is that pre-workout not hitting good?
No, it hit. That's the problem. It hit like a train. So I'm just saying. Um, all right. So not to get into any details, right? Obviously things happen. Things happen in life. It's just a whole life hits you with curveballs, and you either strike out or you hit a home run, right?
Yeah.
After one of those moments where you struck out really bad, 2 outs, but you don't know baseball. I don't even know how to put it into hockey terms. Basically, it's double overtime. The puck is there. You have a clear shot, but you miss, and the goalie catches it, or just ricochets off and goes into the other team's goal. Right? What in those moments, right, when something just egregious happens that you just you lose all faith in everything. What was a moment after that type of thing that made you believe in connection with another person again?
I think again, I think it's like just reaching out to the proper people. Like everybody knows like we went through a very like weird time on Twitch where like we all felt divided and things were very difficult. We didn't know who to trust. You think you know people and you don't, and it can be very scary. And it was like a situation that I never thought I would ever have to experience, honestly. But I think like what got me through it was just connecting with the people who support me, like talking it out with them, just like getting my emotions out and just kind of like like learning how to just feel, like just feel
Okay.
what you have to feel and just get it out of your system, like have that moment and talk to the people that you feel that is safe. And you got to move forward. Honestly, it's you got to learn to just like get those feelings out, feel what you have to feel, but then you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep going because you can't live with it.
That's why, like, I literally say all the time that the Canadians and the English on Twitch are just so much more emotionally mature than the damned Americans on here, bro. Because we hold on to stuff like you guys are just so very like, well, that happened, and I love it, honestly. Like, I admire the strength that y'all portray, like,
It's not easy.
No, it's not. Like I could definitely tell, but to get to that point, where you're just like, it's either like that kind of sucked, but you know what? I can, it wasn't that bad, so I'm gonna forgive your ass. But the relationship has changed. Just letting you know. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate that y'all can do that. We tend to drain ourselves. Pause. When we give a lot of ourselves to people, right? How do you give to others without draining yourself?
That's a tough one because I'm actually still learning how to do that because I'm the
Mm.
type of person that will like give and give and give and give and give and give and give. And then after it's like at one point I'm like, well, I'm not really getting anything back and what's going on. And then I'll feel frustrated and need to step away and like, I'll feel unimportant. But it's like, I don't know, you just have to, I've lost my train of thought. Like you have to just kind of keep going or like keep leaning towards the people who will also like give for you and like who will also check in on you and make sure that you're fine, because that's the thing, it's like relationships take two people and it sucks when it's just one person you know trying to put their all into it and somebody's just not really going with it. So it's lean to the people that you feel that love you, that support you, that like you know make you feel happy basically.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard exactly what Ella said. Lean into the people that support you, appreciate you, and love you, man. Those checkups at like 1 p.m. where it's like, hey, just texting you to make sure that you're not bouncing off the walls are literally the most beautiful thing you could do for a person.
It really is. Like, I remember I was going through postpartum. I was having, I was very separated. I was just with the baby and stuff. And I had Jax message me every now and then just to ask how I'm doing, how's things, to ask me about the baby. I even had like a moment where she wasn't pooping for like 7 days. I had to text Jax. I was like, Jax, what do I do?
You see, that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, so you obviously have you're on a new journey right now. It's a new chapter, motherhood. You have you got Bean, you got Mike, etc. You're married, you have a kid, you have a house, right? And you're not streaming right now, and that's okay. But you're still creating something, a family, which is awesome, right? What are you most looking forward to as these chapters unfold?
Honestly, so something that I talk about with my husband is just being able to see Bean grow.
Mm.
It's crazy to just see her improvement like every day. She's doing new things. She's got a hell of a personality. And that's something that I look forward to is just like getting to hear her talk, getting to hear what's on her mind. What does she want to do as a future? Like I'm so excited to just see the person that she becomes. And I think that's just something nice that me and my husband have also noticed is that just like when we both go eventually, like we will at least have this person that we left on this earth. And hopefully she will be, a kind hearted, beautiful person that just wants to help others and like, just give some light to this world. That's something that we want to hold dear to our hearts, is that we've created this person and we've helped shape her into like a beautiful person that can help others. If you can hear her in the background.
I actually couldn't. That's crazy.
No,
Either that, or
she's
I thought
playing.
it was the damn lo-fi. So that's funny. Um, all right. So 10 years from now, right? Bean is obvious. Okay, Vamp. All right, that makes sense.
It's not a cat, it's a baby.
So 10 years from now, Bean is 10 years old. You're 33, and
Yeah.
and time has flown. If you could write a letter to your future self 10 years from now, what would it say? You don't have to go into like dear whatever. Just,
Oof. Okay, so 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Um Sorry. I can just hear it going off. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. Because I'd like to think that, like, from 10 years ago to now, like, I've grown into, a more confident person. But the funny thing is, like, there's always room for improvement. So I think, like, I would probably just tell myself, like, don't take things too personally. Remember, you're doing your best. Um, just take it one step at a time. Try to enjoy life to the fullest. That's something that I hold dear to my heart, is that I think like we only have this one life. So why waste it, worrying and like, hating on people and just feeling shitty when you can just enjoy it for yourself. Like, go out and travel, go create a family, like, go spend time with the people you love. Like, it's not worth sitting in your room upset because somebody pissed you off or a game didn't go your way, like, it's not worth it. It's just worth to go experience and enjoy these memories. You got a tear in your eye, Meta?
No, I'm good. I'm good. You have literally like legit like this might be the fast like I'm not shitting on nobody else. But I'm just saying, like, Ella, like, legit is just steam.
I'm
like,
zooming through these.
Yeah, like,
questions.
we literally only have 2 segments left, and I'm just like, wow, like it's usually at the 2-hour mark where I'm just like, damn, okay, like I feel like I could literally start ordering breakfast and I'll be alright, like, all right. So these are like the 5 emotional questions that I usually ask at like, the end of stuff. But because you've been so good at answering most of these, like I think I only have 3 left, I want to say. Yeah, because it's like some of them like it's like you've touched on, Anna, and y'all know the Emperor's motto. I don't really like to repeat, it's because then you look back at this and Ella will just pick it apart like, with her tweezers, These days, what does forgiveness look like for you now, whether it's in others or in yourself?
Ooh, what does forgiveness look like? I'd have to say, like, I think it's if somebody's wronged you, like, say if you've pissed me off, we've had an open conversation about it. We've like said, like, listen, this hurt me when you did this. And like I'm willing to forgive people pretty easily. It's when they keep doing it over and over and over and over again, then that is kind of where I'll check out and I'll be like, listen, I appreciate you as a person, but I don't think that we can have the same relationship as we did because, like it sounds wrong to say like it's not benefiting me, but it's not benefiting me emotionally. Like I'm not feeling joy about this. So why am I still putting energy into this cup, like, or why am I filling this cup when it's not, it's got holes in it and it's all coming out apart, it's not worth it in my opinion. So I think that's like one of the biggest things is you got to protect your own energy. So it's, that's kind of how I'm going about it.
I like that though. That's, you're absolutely right. What part of your heart have you learned to guard gently, not with walls, but with wisdom?
Ooh. What part of my heart have I decided to guard?
I'm talking about the emotional form of heart, not like the right aorta, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to protect like my aorta because it's the biggest. No,
like if you're some sort of ancient warrior or something, I gotta protect my heart.
I'm trying to think. Like I think it's mostly just like your peace. Like I was saying, you want to just protect your peace and enjoy life. Like that's something that I protect dearly to me. Like, and also the relationships. Get a vest, exactly. Like just the relationships that I have. Like, you want to protect those. You want to make sure that you put enough energy into things. And like I said, you only have one life. You just want to enjoy it. You just want to have fun and just remember smiling and like not having a horrible time.
Okay. When you think of the woman you're becoming, what are you proudest of?
Ooh, I'd have to say my confidence. I think, like I said, when I was younger, I was very insecure. I was very shy. So, like, being able to go on camera, play games, meet random people, and, like, get to form relationships with people across the country and everything has been really cool. And I don't think, like, younger me would have ever done that. Like, I used to be the type where, like, those like don't meet people online ads, like those would really scare me. Like, you don't meet people that you meet online, like MSN, you don't talk to strangers, like like no, for real. I literally remember this one ad where it was like this young girl like swinging at the park, and then you see like the shadow in the bushes, and then it goes back to the girl and she's gone, and I was like, no. Yeah,
I don't mean to laugh at that. That's so bad. Like, people are going to look at this and be like, look at Meta laughing at a kidnapping. And I'm just like, stop. It's not that. It's just...
No, but that's something that my mom drilled into me is don't meet strangers. Don't talk to weirdos online. Like, so it's funny to think like, because she doesn't understand it. Like, my parents don't get this Twitch thing. Like, they think it's a waste of time. And like it's something that I have to learn to protect my daughter from, because like I do stand for that. Like, don't meet people online, okay? Like, I know we're all hanging out online and it's all a good time and everything, but unless you like truly know this person or you have like full confidence, do not meet random strangers online. It is dangerous.
Meanwhile, Meta's had them sleep in his house, so
I
that's
know.
crazy. That is
Oh my
crazy.
God. Yeah, so I think like that's the thing is my confidence is just like seeing that I am more confident to talk to people. I'm more like secure about myself. And just being able to chat with people has been really fun
I love that.
safely.
Meta needs the best.
Protect that heart. MSN
Exactly.
times are crazy.
No, you're not wrong. Um, damn. So we're at the final reflection, right? The Emperor's
Oh
Court,
shit.
where everybody, yeah, you Vamp said it best. Like you've treated it like an exam, like you're answering it, and that's. I wouldn't have expected anything less from Ella. Like she's like that. She's very much like
I'm a perfectionist.
exactly with the flail. Yep, the flail's back there too, Vamp. Um, okay. If your life were a story-driven game, what title would this chapter carry?
Ooh, I had something good. Hold on. Trash becoming treasure.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. What unseen strength do you wish people could recognize in you?
Um, I don't know. I think that's crazy because there's many things that I don't feel like people can like see within me. But it was like at my wedding, like I had my best friend, I made her I made her do a speech. She has anxiety and she doesn't like publicly speaking. But I was like, "You're my maid of honor. I really want to hear a speech." So she did it. And it was just like hearing like everybody who did a speech talk about like how kind I am to others, how I make people feel so safe and like happy and just like I don't know, just all these things that I do without thinking. And it was just incredible to hear people notice them and like, talk about them. I didn't think about that. So it's nice when you hear that like stuff that you didn't really think people notice, they do.
I need my cut when you write that. Uh, what does home mean to you these days? Is it a place, a feeling, a person, or all three?
I think all three. I think all
Okay.
three. It's definitely like a feeling of safety. It's a place, obviously. And I think when you have that person, that is also what kind of like ties it all together. So for me, it would be my husband. He's just somebody who I can speak freely with. I can cry if I need to. He's always been my rock, and that's something that's like really precious to me.
Ella really does treat this like a just she just
Like a quiz.
steamrolling, bro. I love it. Nah, I love it.
I feel
I
bad. I
love
feel
it.
like I'm not
Oh no, no,
answering
no.
with
You're
like
you're great.
enough.
You have legit guys. Come on, just give Ella her props in the chat. Like she's literally like she's just.
No, no, they
It's
are.
just
They
that
are.
she.
I
It's
just feel
just that
like
she
I'm
is. Like
I'm
you've been
too
doing.
quick.
No, no. Listen, I love it. I would have been the same way too. I'm the same exact way. Yo, what up, Ace? When the credits. No, my bad. Whoops. See, I'm going so fast that I messed up a question. If you could change one rule about how people treat each other, whether it's on Twitch, IRL,
Ooh.
both, etc., what would it be?
Be honest with each other. Be honest with each other. I feel like we've talked about this meta where like we feel like Twitch is very clicky.
Mm-hmm.
Like you sometimes like work better with other people and you don't get along with this person, but like I think like a lot of it is just not being honest with each other. A lot of it is like talking secretly behind each other's backs and whatnot like that. And I feel like that's not worth it. I feel like you need to um like if you don't like somebody, like obviously don't be an asshole. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, if I didn't like Meta and I'm just like, Meta, I don't like you, I'm not gonna play this game. Like, I think it's just like there's been a lot of misunderstandings on Twitch and like there's been a lot of like miscommunications with certain people. And I think like one of the important things to do is just talk. Like, you have to convey your feelings. Like I recently had a situation with my offline friends where I went to go see Wicked and I was really excited about it. I love Wicked, and Wicked for Good came out last month, and I invited all my friends to go because they expressed interest. So I was like, okay, if you want to come, like, please feel free. And I had a bunch of friends making fun of me because I wanted to get to the movie theater super early. I wanted to, like, make sure we were all set up and everything. And I was so excited for it. And it put a damper on the movie for me. I felt like they were talking shit behind my back. I felt like, I wasn't being taken seriously, that I felt stupid. I felt very stupid.
Mm.
And that's something hard, but I had to text them. I felt bad I texted them. I didn't really say it in person because I was like, oh, maybe I'm just feeling this way and it's stupid and whatnot. But I ended up messaging them separately, and I said, like, hey, this happened, and I want to talk about it and like clear the air, because I don't want to have like any like residual feelings about this. And it really sucked. And like, honestly, my friends that I messaged were so sorry. They didn't expect that. Like, they were like, I thought we were just joking around. And I just said, like, I had some background things going on and the banter just didn't hit the same and whatnot. And that was it. Like, the whole situation was cleared and I felt 10 times better. And it's just because I talked to that person, because no one's going to know how you feel unless you mention it.
Yeah, of course. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. When the credits roll on your story, right? Tomorrow, the sun sets on Trashella, right? What do you hope everyone remembers the most about you?
I like to think that people can remember how nice I am. I know a lot of my like closer friends think like I'm a bully, but I like to think I'm a nice person. I try to get along with everybody. I try to be clear with what I like and like how I feel. So I do hope that people remember me as a good person.
Well, Ella, you've reached the end of the Emperor's Court. GG's.
Record timing.
Record timing. Yeah, this might be the fast. I know the edit's gonna be stupid quick on this one. Um, you know, the scary farts of the Ella do be
The
getting
good
scared about
times.
farts.
The good
Um,
times.
in closing, there are lights that flare and lights that stay. Trashella, you're the kind that stays. You're quiet, you're steady, and you're golden. You've taught me that peace doesn't have to be loud, that love doesn't always announce itself. You show me what it means to build a life that glows from the inside out. Through crafting, through kindness, through strength, it takes to pause and nurture. You've turned ordinary days into sanctuaries. You've been a friend to me when I needed to remember what comfort sounded like. So here's to your season, the one where stillness is sacred and light learns how to rest, man. And thank you for today. Seriously, you did great.
Yay, thank you for having me, and thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. And I love seeing, like, Zeb from my community showing up, and I haven't seen a lot of you guys since like I took a break and stuff. So it's really nice to kind of be back on stream, reading chat, enjoying like just hanging out with good people. So thank you very much, everyone.
No, of course. And so, it's early, so it's like, so I was just kind of, but I'm glad everybody that showed up, especially the people that came to support Ella.
Yes, thank you very much. I know time zones are a bitch.
Ella, what can we expect from you in the future? Like, are you just, do you have like a timetable on when you want to, if you ever want to return to streaming?
I don't know. I think like maybe when things kind of get more established. So in the next couple months, I'm going to be going back to work. I'm going to be putting baby in daycare. I did think about it maybe because I want to start putting her in daycare for a couple of hours. And I thought, well, like I'll be home by myself and I'm not working. Maybe I'll stream. I don't know. So there has been thoughts. I'm not sure exactly when, but I would like to maybe at least try once a week if I can. Once, things are a little bit more established. Life with a baby is very very like it's not difficult. Well, it is difficult, but it's not like crazy hard. It's just unpredictable. You never know what's happening.
Of course, of course. So
And I am busy with rivals, so
that you are. That she is. All right, well, you know what? Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. You're an amazing person, and I know you're probably dying to get back to relaxing and being attacking Bean and Mike and stuff.
I know, I hear her laughing and I want to get in on the fun here.
No, listen, do your thing. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having
Of
me.
course,
This was
and
fun.
oh, of course, and enjoy your day, Ella.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Oh boy, how amazing was that, huh? In and out like I do with my relationship, man. I know Jax is streaming, so we're gonna raid out over to him, you know, say hi to himself and stuff. Oh wow, he's on Arc Raiders. Good job.
For the most part, everything.
Ella will be back someday, guys. You know, don't ever you know, doubt that and stuff. You know, it's just motherhood, etc., etc. You know, I'm gonna definitely maybe take a nap. Why is my hair so foofy? Oh, it's because I washed it. Sorry. I don't like to see it like this till it's like stupid long. Guys, thank you again for this is the last episode of the year. I will be back in January with this. I do have a guest for January already, which is like I have guests up until March planned out. After that, then I really got to start asking. Oh no, definitely. You guys will definitely see plenty of Ella in the future. You know, thank y'all so much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Much love to y'all. You know, take care of yourselves today. Remember, man, it's easier to have a conversation with someone than it is to end an entire, you know, relationship that you had, man. You know, because misunderstandings are a motherfucker, just like Ella said. And yeah, yo, take care of yourselves. I will definitely be back. I want to say Monday. Could be wrong. You never know with me. Like, I consider myself such a part-time streamer, bro, that it's like, you see me when you see me. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Ella, I'm sure, is dying to eat, you know, dying to kiss up on Bean and be with Mike and stuff, you know. With that being said, though, take care of yourselves, guys. Remember, y'all, it is not goodbye, but it is good night. Or good morning. I don't fucking know.